Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the forced vibration of a system in the presence of viscous damping, and the force is assumed to be harmonic. So I'm going to solve this system which is under an external force, and this is the governing equation, which by now you must be familiar with it. And I will take f to be in one of these forms, and I will solve both of them in MATLAB. So firstly, we will take it to be as f naught times cosine of omega t. And the second representation of force is going to be f naught times e to the power of I omega t, which is a complex form which uses the Euler's notation to represent this harmonic force. I will solve both of these forms using dsolve command in MATLAB. Then I will talk about the interpretation of the results, and I will see how changing the parameters of the system, such as the spring constant or damping constant or the external excitation frequency, how will they affect the result and the response of the system. I go to MATLAB, and as always, I start with close-all clear CLC. Next, I have to define the parameters of the system. So I take M to be 10 kilograms, K to be 4,000 newtons per meter. I take C to be 20 newton second per meter. I take F naught to be 100 newtons. And I also take the frequency of external force to be 10 radians per second. Now I can calculate a few other parameters, such as the natural frequency of the system. Omega n is the square root of k over m, and r is the ratio of the external force to the natural frequency. It is omega over omega n. Also, the critical damping constant. The critical damping value is 2 times m times omega n, and zeta is the damping ratio. It is C over Cc. If I hit F5, I can see all of these values are calculated. And zeta is 0.05, R is 0.5. Now I want to solve it using the solve command. So what was the equation? The equation is m times second derivative of x plus c times the first derivative of x plus k times x. It is equal to f. So I have to define x as a symbolic function of t, and I have to define f as f naught times cosine of omega times t. So when I define x as a function of t, t is also defined, and I can define f as a function of t too. Now I have to define the initial conditions, and I take both position and velocity to be initially equal to 0. I also define velocity as the first derivative of x. Now, I save the solution in a variable named solve and dsolve equation under these initial conditions. I press F5 and I face no errors. So far everything is so good. So I plot the result using fplot command from 0 to 10. So I'm plotting it for 10 seconds. Okay, and now this is the response of the system. And you can see after the initial phase, we reach the steady state solution. And this steady state solution is a harmonic answer which has the same frequency as the external force. I will create a figure, and this time I will define f as f naught times exponential of I times omega times t. And MATLAB shows me a warning, and it says, instead of I or J, you had better type 1I. So I hit fix, and this is a more robust way of defining a complex number in MATLAB. So the users won't find this term misleading or ambiguous. Again, we have the same equation and initial conditions, and we are going to solve it. So if I hit run, this second figure is not what I was hoping for. And the reason behind that is f is in this form a complex variable, but the only part of f which has a meaningful physical interpretation is the real part of it. So instead of plotting sol, I only plot the real part of it. And now I press F5, and this is the result of our second method. So if I compare the two results, I can see there is no difference. And in order to interpret the results, I want to draw your attention to this graph from the Mechanical Vibrations book by Professor Rao. And here you can see that for this harmonically excited damped system, if we increase zeta, then the response is going to be contained. The amplitude of oscillations is going to be more and more restricted, and it will become smaller and smaller. So we can test it here. If I multiply C by, let's suppose 20, and I press F5, okay, you can see the amplitude of oscillations is smaller this time comparing the previous time. So it is 0.02 in this example, but previously it was 0.03. So increasing the damping coefficient is going to reduce the oscillations, the amplitude of oscillations. But in order to find the effect of a spring constant on the amplitude of oscillations, you must be more careful, since increasing K is going to increase omega n, and increasing omega n is going to reduce R. So if we increase K, what will happen is we go in the left direction of this plot. And you might think that, for example, for this part, if we go to the left side, the amplitudes are going to increase. But we must pay attention to the vertical axis too. So here the vertical axis is the amplitude ratio, which is x over delta st. And x is the amplitude of oscillations, but delta st is the static deflection, and it is f naught over k. K will also change this term. And increasing k is going to decrease delta. So this ratio x over delta is going to increase. And the final interpretation is that only by looking at this graph, we cannot find out the effect of k over x. So I am going to change the values manually to see how are they going to affect the response. So remember that previously x was 0.03. Okay, now I have doubled k, and I'll see what happens. Okay, increasing k has definitely led to a decreased oscillation. Or I will divide it by 10. Again, when k was equal to 4000, the amplitude of oscillations was 0.03. Now this time it is 0.15. So the amplitude of oscillations has been multiplied by 5. So the final take is, if we increase k, the amplitude of oscillations is going to decrease. Now I go to Simulink, I create a blank model, I go to library browser, and from Simscape, foundation library, I find Mechanical. And I'm going to add the blocks I need. I add a translational motion sensor. I add a force source. Then from translational elements, I add a mass, a translational reference, a damper, and a spring. These are all the blocks that I need. I also won't forget to add a solver configuration. So the C port of the damper and the spring has to be connected to the wall. The solver configuration has to be connected to somewhere in the system. It does not matter. And the mass is going to be connected to the spring and the damper. And this sensor is going to be connected to the mass. I will also change the number of graphical ports of the mass to 2. So the other side of the mass is going to be connected to my ideal force. I create a copy of my wall. I connect it to the other side of the force. And I'm going to define the parameters of the system. So K was 4,000. C was 20. M was 10 kilograms. And I only want the position of the system. I also create a copy of the wall and connect it to here. A PS Simulink converter in order to be able to plot the results. The only remaining term is the external force, which I am going to use the cosine block. And this block takes the cosine of its input. So I need cosine of omega t. I create a Simulink PS converter. Okay. So the block that gives us time is named clock. So I add a clock block and it is time. So time has to be multiplied by omega. So I add a gain block, I name it omega, and I set it equal to 10. So this signal is omega times t, and this is cosine of omega times t. So this resulting term has to be multiplied by f naught. So I add f naught and set it equal to 100. I make it bigger so I can see the gain. And this is f naught time cosine of omega times t. Now if I run the system, okay, I can see this is the same result that I expected. You can see the amplitude of oscillations is 0.03. And what this graph tells us is when this frequency ratio is equal to 1, we have the maximum amplitude of oscillations. And this is the most dangerous part of the system. And if your frequency ratio is equal to 1, then the effect of zeta is so much important. It is so important to have a big value for damping constant, so you won't face big amplitudes of oscillation. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I know that in the original parameters, omega n was equal to 20. So if I set the external force to have a frequency equal to 20, then this is exciting in the natural frequency of the system. So if I run, I can see I have faced a much bigger amplitudes of oscillation. And this is where you want to make sure your damping coefficient is good enough. So for example, if I turn it equal to 50 and I run it from here, you can see increasing the damping coefficient has led to a decreased amplitude of oscillations, and it is the most important aspect of a harmonically excited damped system. And that concludes this tutorial.